Ladies, how do you start your morning? What is like the first thought that you have when you wake up?
What time is it?
Whatever time you wake up, when you
Oh
open
no,
your
is that
eyes,
what
what is,
your first thought? What time is it?
oh, that's your first thought? What time is it? Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Tracy G,
Oh, mine is I gotta get up and go to the bathroom. Okay, I
have
gotta
you
get up.
have you ever practiced the moment your eyes opened gratitude right then and there for that second?
I'm gonna have to say no. I don't. I mean, okay, that's a lie. I have practiced that when I had my liver operation. Yes, that was something that I said almost daily to myself as thank God I'm awake. Thank God there's another day here. Um, but I would have to say that while I practice gratitude, it is not the first thing that I actually do first thing in the morning.
And I would say the same
Tracy G,
thing because certain points in my life, absolutely, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, thank you, I'm here today. But overall, it would not be my first thought.
yeah. I do practice that the very first thing, the moment my eyes open. I give gratitude that I am given this day. Very first thought.
Hmm.
And the reason why I started it was twofold. One, I found when you wake up in that freaking bad mood, you didn't get up, when you wanted to, you didn't have a good night's sleep, like just the culmination of different things, that it set my mood in a very negative way. So when I started practicing that, giving gratitude for that day at that moment that I opened my eyes, automatically shifted that mindset.
Mm.
Not to everything's rosy and hunky dory and look at how beautiful it is, but it changed my perspective at that moment.
How did you remember to do that? How did you remember to have that as your first thought in the morning?
It took practice. It took like practice.
Did you have like a post-it note sitting beside your
Yep, I'm
bed?
right by
Like,
my it's on my alarm clock. So when I look to see what time it is as I'm waking, it was right there.
right, right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I would have to, I think I would
Yeah.
need that visual prompting
Right.
for myself to
Yeah.
remember that.
And the second reason was sometimes I would get lost in the present day and forget how grateful we get to have this day. Just like you said, Tracy E., there are different times you woke up and you were happy to wake up that day. And throughout, I would say, the last 3 years of me doing it, it started with somebody I knew went to sleep and never woke up the next day.
Mm.
And it happened again this past November. That in all of our busyness, I think we forget we're not guaranteed the day.
Mhm.
I don't mean to sound morbid.
I don't
No,
think
but
it's
it's very
morbid
true.
though.
Yeah, it isn't, and it's I think it is a really it is that's an awesome practice to just give gratitude for the fact that your eyes are open. My
Yeah.
eyes are open. I get to do this again today. My dad used to say that. I would say to him, "How you doing, Dad?" And he would say, "It's a good day. I'm above ground." That was always his that was always his comment. And it was like, I used to think at the time, that's kind of morbid, Dad, but it's like not really. Like it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've been given a
And
gift.
but then it also sets you up for the gratitude throughout the day
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
because you start to get into that practice. And I think sometimes people look at gratitude as, oh, you're just masking what's going on, or you're looking at life through rose-colored glasses. And that isn't it. Even on my worst days, I still find something to be grateful for.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, you go down the scroll hole of that negativity. It just keeps pulling you and
Mhm.
pulling you and pulling you. And, you know, I know you guys have heard my story about me losing my dad and my stepdad within 3 weeks of each other. And there's a lot of grief, lots of grief, and there's grief that still hits me from it. And when it does, I go back to gratitude because then I'll pull in a memory and have that as a piece of gratitude
Mhm.
so that I'm able to cherish what I'm feeling and still honor the grief. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've tried to actually change my gratitude, um, the way I practice gratitude. And that is, instead of trying to think of what am I grateful for today, to look back on yesterday to go, what happened yesterday for me to be grateful about?
Oh, okay.
Because it's a nice reflection, first of all, on the previous day, which I don't always necessarily do those reflections a lot. Not unless usually something big's happened or whatever, and then,
Then you're
so it's a
forced.
nice way to, yeah, and it forces you to go, hey, like, what the heck's been going on? So it's a nice way to be able to go back and look at that. But it's also just, uh, it makes you present for yesterday, if that makes any sense at all. It's like, okay, now I have to be thinking about what are three things that happened to me yesterday or that I observed yesterday that really makes me feel grateful for right now in this moment. And it's a bit of a different, it's just different. It's just a different way of doing the gratitude. I think it ends up being, very similar in terms of what it does for you, what practicing
Mm-hmm.
gratitude does for you. But it just makes me think a little bit more than what I do in this moment, right? Like the sun shining, the sky's blue, like there's two things to be super grateful for right now, especially in Ontario, because our winters are dreary and dark and we don't get a lot of that. So it's just a different way of doing it.
Tracy G, how do you practice gratitude?
Um, excuse me. I do it in a lot of different ways. I've gone on and off of the formal, like,
Mhm.
okay, I do that, and then 2 weeks later I'm not doing it, and then I'm doing it again. But I really found just silly things like going for a walk and the rain puddle is in the shape of a heart. And I go, look at that. Like that's just appreciate that little thing in the day. And I just try to really consciously be really present in the day and just
Mhm.
be happy that I have that day, even if crappy stuff is going on. And so I don't really know how I practice it because I don't feel there's a formal way of practicing, but
Mhm.
I stop to smell the roses. I stop to
Yeah.
look up at the clouds in the sky. When my kid is talking to me, I don't drift off and then come back. I really listen. And I just feel those are my gratitude. Like I get to
Mm.
listen to you because you're here in my home, because in a couple of years you won't be. So
Yeah.
I give it my all. And I just try to do gratitude that way. Thinking about it.
There isn't I don't feel there's a right and wrong way to
Yeah.
do
Mhm.
gratitude. I think just doing it is what's important.
Yeah.
Being present and understanding what is going on around you is a way of gratitude. And Tracy E, I love the way you say that you look back at yesterday.
I like that.
And there are some times when I go to sleep, I think back of just the day I had because nobody is perfect. We all get engrossed in what we're doing. That if you think back for 5 minutes as you're drifting off, instead of worrying about something that's happening the next day, and you think about something you're grateful for as you fall asleep that night, it even helps how you're going to form sleep. But practicing a form of gratitude, it's even scientifically proven to help shift shift your mindset, shift your perspective, shift how you feel about things, And a form of gratitude is, I don't look at my runs any longer like, "Ugh, I have to go out and get this running because it's in my training plan." My gratitude is I get to go out and run because not everybody gets to run. Not everybody can run. There are people who just cannot run for different reasons. And that's a blessing for me that I get to do that. So that's a way of practicing gratitude. I think people think gratitude sometimes gets a bad rap.
I think it's also, like you said, it changes your perspective. It's funny, I was doing our bills yesterday and I was like, ugh. And then I went, hey, you got money to pay your bills, be happy. And and I changed it. I was like, oh, I could get it all organized, blah, 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 and just changed my perspective. And like you said, like not everyone gets to run, not everyone gets to work, not everyone gets to do this. And so I get, oh, there's a event tonight. I don't want to go. Oh no, you get to go. Like
Yeah,
be happy for yourself.
right,
Yeah, it is.
right,
It's definitely a the mindset perspective thing.
right.
I think
And
it changes your whole energy on everything as well. Your whole energy level is completely different. I remember reading the thing about the bills. Oh gosh, this was like years and years and years ago, and it really affected me about going to pay bills.
Yeah.
And I have that. I'm just so grateful that I have the money to be able to pay this bill. I'm so grateful. And it just like it is a totally different way of paying your bills than to sit there and go, oh my God, here we go.
I know.
Look at this hydro bill. It's like,
And I threw a lot of money towards our bills, but I felt good about it. I was like,
Mhm.
there you go. That's dealt with. Moving on, right? Like
yes,
it felt
yes,
good.
Mhm. Mhm.
right. And no matter even where you are, no matter like in the world of instant gratification, in the world of social media, in the world of comparison, if you don't stop, to Tracy G's note, and smell the roses today, how are you going to remember to do it when you get to where you want to be? And that's what I
Mm,
think the mindset is sometimes. Oh, when I have the
yeah.
car, I'll be grateful. When I have the money to catch up on my bills, when I have a nice home, well, there is no when like there really isn't. That's impotent. Because if you're not practicing thing here in the present, the when and you have that house, you're still not going to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be another when
Instead, go
So
in the meantime. In the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy these,
yes,
in the
yep.
meantime.
In the meantime, today, like in the meantime, you're opening up your closet. It is filled with clothes. Not everybody has a closet that has clothes in it. Not everyone has a roof on. Like there is so much, and we just forget. So it grounds you more so when you just look around and just say, you can
Mhm.
still want more. You can still want a different home. You can still want and make more money. You can still want and have a different car or desire, but be in the present moment now.
So
I
good.
like that, Tracy G, when you said, my children come in, I spend time with them because I don't know when they'll be here again because they'll
Yeah.
be leaving home, you know? It's just that. And I love Tracy E. Yeah, I think about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Huh, that's neat. Yes. It builds that memory bank, you
Yeah.
know? So how do you practice gratitude? Do you practice gratitude? comment below. Let us know how you practice gratitude. If you have any questions about gratitude, and share this with somebody who probably should start practicing gratitude. But don't tell them. Just let them listen to the episode. Again, please subscribe, share, and hit notifications so you know when the next episode will come out.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.